Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, this is going to be a quick one. I've just had an update from Plarium, from Raid, about the next patch. I figured I'd drop it into a video so I can try and get out to as many people as possible, and we can start to spitball ideas around what to do. So, it's official. In the next patch, we will see dungeons for Ice Golem, Dragon, Spider, and Fire Knight moving from level 20 max up to 25. Okay, that's official. So we're going to see that, I'd imagine, within the next 2 weeks. They normally drop a patch around the middle of the month, but it could be quicker than that. I've got no news on the actual time frame of when it's going to drop. So let me share with you what it looks like. And I guess let me just kind of talk through as well what it might mean. So here we go. What have we got? Basically, from when this patch drops in a couple of weeks, whenever it is, Ice Golem is going to go stage 21 through to 25 and end on Magic Affinity. So let's just see if that just follows. I think these will just follow the natural progression, to be honest. So from... yeah, it just follows the natural progression. So we're going to end on Magic Affinity for Ice Golem. So a couple of watch outs, I guess. Most people, or a lot of people, try and use Stag Knight as their decreased attack and decreased defense. He is going to become the weak affinity. That's actually quite a big loss for Ice Golem. Juke can do the same type of job, but that's a big one to lose. So just be aware of that. For Spider's Den, we're going to end on Magic Affinity as well. So Spiders is going to move to Magic. What does that mean for champions? Well, Mordecai that we've just got, if you did keep him, is now going to be the positive affinity. Not that that really makes a difference because he was already bonkers there anyway. But some of the champions that perhaps we were using as tanks will no longer be viable tanks because they will switch to the positive affinity instead of the negative. So someone like a Razin was a good tank option, now is going to be the positive affinity. Someone like a Drex was a great tank and free to get, is now going to be positive affinity, so he's not going to tank it as much. So we're going to have to start to think about spirit affinity tanks. One which some people might still have, chomping around if they're not using her in arena is Morley. Morley actually becomes a really cool affinity tank here. But yeah, we're going to have to start working on who else in the Spirit Affinity group are going to be good tanks. Certainly in Epics, we have to start thinking it through because that's going to be the kind of main requirement for Spider. And we know Spider is basically the hardest dungeon, so level 25 is going to be tough there. Dragon is going to end up being a Force Affinity. So, does that do a lot does that do a lot to us? We just need to make sure that we've got a decent amount of poisoners in either Force or Spirit. And I guess a lot of the starter champions are Magic Affinity. So people that perhaps could push to Dragon 20 but not maybe do the other dungeons might not be able to continue to push on in Dragon's Lair with the kind of starting group of champions that you've got. So something to watch out for. And then we've got Fire Knights as well. Is going to end on Spirit Affinity. So one of the big changes from this content, which is going to be, it's going to make us have to think actually. So you will, a bit like with Doom Tower, you will not be able to do more than 10% of the enemy's max HP with a max HP skill. So your Septimus, your Royal Guard, your Cold Hearts, they're all getting a hard nerf. And yeah, that's going to be pretty tough. That's going to be a pretty tough one to deal with, to be honest. It actually feels to me like they want to nerf enemy max HP. They realise it's a great skill. They've tweaked it too high. They want to nerf it, but they know that community feedback would be shocking if they did a nerf. Okay? So actually what they've done instead is they've built new passives into old bosses to nerf it. It's like the most backwards way of nerfing a skill, but I guess it is what it is. That's the way they've now done it. But honestly, let's be honest with ourselves. Enemy max HP has been nerfed. Yeah? Hard. It's been nerfed hard. Because at the moment, you know, if I want to smack the spider with a max HP skill, I'm doing a lot more than 10% of its health. Let me show you this. Yeah, when I'm running my enemy max HP stuff right now, I'm doing a considerable amount more than 10%. 10% is going to be like here. Yeah, barely worthwhile. In fact, it kind of pushes you on spider to have to use... Bam! I'm doing like, what? 50 to 60%. And that was a weak move there, actually. Normally it's harder than that. So, whew, it pretty much rules out a lot of those type of champs. And it means that if they're going to be doing weaker enemy max HP, and then the second passive that's coming as well that's going to change is turn meter control changes. Someone like a Cold Heart is going to do this. Oh, see you later. You're not going to be in endgame comps. There's also a second passive which will limit the turn meter decrease. So again, I think it's going to run similar to what they've done with these new Doom Tower bosses. It's going to be stuff like it will probably halve the amount of turn meter drop from stage 21 to 25. So, you know, just trying to throw in Allure to deal with stuff or Armiger to deal with stuff, it's going to be much harder come stage 21 to 25. So there you go, pretty tough. Alongside that, guys, something which I'm quite excited about, actually, they're going to be launching the new missions. So I haven't had a mission to do in a long while since I got my Arbiter. They're going to be adding the next set of missions. 187 new missions, 3 parts, so kind of 1, 2, 3, a bit similar to what we had here. That was a 4-parter. They'll be added after you've done the Arbiter missions. A banner with a new missions part will be visible in the progress missions too. Once you finish every mission in your current part and get your reward, you'll unlock the next one. So very similar to what we had before in this sort of setup. I like this, guys, by the way. I think it focuses the mind. It gives you something else fresh to do if you're just kind of not sure where you're going with stuff. So I really like the idea of the extra missions. The rewards for completing all the missions is a new champion. We'll tell a bit more about this fellow and his skills in the upcoming video. This champion will be available only as a final reward for completing all the missions. Therefore, he can't be summoned by shards, fused, or collected from fragments. Okay. I wonder if they're going to catch on that they should do the same for Arbiter. Like, why can you summon Arbiter from shards and stuff like that? Anyway, look, pretty exciting stuff. New dungeons to kind of get our teeth into. Fine. We have not been told about the rewards. I'm assuming they're just going to increase the drop rate of epic and legendary rewards, the drop rate of 6-star versus 5-star. They're not talking about 7-star gear. They're not talking about new gear sets or anything like that. So it's just got to be an enhanced drop rate, I would have thought. We've asked a question. We've got no answers yet, so we'll kind of keep you posted. But there you go, guys. What do you think? I guess over the next week or so, I'll do some videos about who I think could start to rule the scene in Stage 25 dungeons. If you've got ideas about that or other videos you want to see, comment below and we'll try and pick it up. I've been Hell Hades. Let's go. I'll see you later.